Going to be a different type of video today. I'm actually recording this while I am live on Twitch, and a ton of people have been asking me questions. They just started the game. They're finding it different from other hero collectors they've played, and I've been playing the game for 90 days, and so I'm going to offer some of the mistakes and answer these questions. So this is for like someone that is starting Raid Shadowlands right away. First things first, use the link in the description, scan the QR code on the screen. The reason why that's going to be a good thing is you're going to get 2 epic champions, Tayrel and Rector Drath. And I think that is very good. I use Rector Drath a lot, almost everywhere. So you don't get her until you get to player level 25. That's the way the code works. So when you use the code, you eventually get Rector Drath when you get to level 25. Tayrel is very good also. I don't use Tayrel as much as other characters, but he's very good. Next, what you got to do right away, and the thing is you want to use these promo codes. And the promo codes you can only use once per 24 hours. And the promo code you use right away is going to be Monkey King, and you're going to get Sun Wukong. And Sun Wukong is currently my best character that I have. He is over the top insane. You're going to want to do that right away, right when you get started in the game. Now, that does not work on iOS. There's not going to be this promo code on iOS if you're playing on an Apple device. So their workaround for that is like I Googled promo code iOS Raid. It takes you to the Plarium, which is Plarium makes Raid Shadow Legends. You have to go on their website, and then you put your player ID, enter the promo code, and then hit continue, and then you'll get it. The second way to do it is to download the PC app, which is what I'm playing the game on right now. This is the PC app. I'm playing this on my computer, and it'll have that code as well. Now, I play the game in 4 different places, believe it or not. I play it on LD Player, I played it on my Android tablet, I play it on my iPhone, and I play it on the Plarium. There are some advantages to playing it on Plarium. The first one being is that there's extra login bonuses where you get the Plarium points, which are redeemable for various things. And also, the Plarium app is going to be compatible with the Hell's Hades artifact extractor. So while the Plarium app is running on your computer, the Hell's Hades artifact extractor, you can upload all the data that's in your game up to their website, and that'll allow you to do 2 very important things. One, it's going to organize and sort your artifacts and give suggestions. A whole video can be made about that. But more importantly, sometimes I download a lot of characters and I don't know which one is the best, and I can go on their website and I can hit show my champs, and then it will sort the characters that are in my roster in overall what rating. It's a number between something like 0 and 5. So like, for example, I just got Deacon Armstrong today. I opened up a Ancient Shard and I got Deacon Armstrong. I didn't know he was this good. 4.5. So I've got a couple 4.5s, and then it's going to spell out where characters. So like one of the questions is, what characters do I know to upgrade? What characters to focus on? Well, you could do it this way. This is how I've been working off of right now. And everybody's at a different place in the game, right? And for me, the thing that I'm mostly focusing on is Hydra. So I've gone through and I've upgraded these characters here. And then I'm going to work on Mordecai. So Mordecai I do not have upgraded, but the other ones I do. And that's just the process, because I need more characters in doing Hydra. Now, the other main question is when you start the game, which character do you pick when you start? I picked Kale based on suggestions from many, many other people. And he is good in the clan boss Demon Lord. So there you go. That is who I picked. So stuff to do right away. Use the link. Use the code. Think about using the Plarium app on your PC for reasons, right? I gave the reasons why. First starter character, Kale. So I'm going to go back to my cheat sheet and it says, what are the game modes? What is each game mode used for? Now, I'm going to just say that that is an extremely complicated question. And my suggestion is twofold, is every day there are daily quests. You can focus on the daily quests. If you focus on the daily quests, it'll give you kind of a roadmap on what to do every day. And then you're going to be forced to learn the daily, the different modes in the game. Then there's also an advanced daily quest, and this resets every day. I'm finding that super helpful. Then at various times there are passes. There are 2 passes running now, and there's a free track and a paid track, but you could also focus on the free track quests every day if you want to learn the game mode. Now, the 2 things that helped me the most to learn Raid Shadow Legends was this missions right here. The missions, you could just start playing the game and just go from the missions to missions to missions to missions. It's going to teach you how to play the game. There's a lot to do, and I got the most and I learned the most just by clicking this button right here and focusing on missions. The other thing that I do on a daily basis is I click this down arrow, and then there's a whole bunch of currencies here, and I try to spend all of these. So obviously there's some things I need to spend right now: Curse City keys, siege attack scrolls. Like if I wasn't making a video right now, I probably would try to spend all of these down as much as possible. A lot of them reset, or you can see there's timers where they refill. But doing this process of going through the keys, finishing my daily quests, finishing the advanced quests, going through the passes and completing the free tracks, going to the missions and going through the missions, I learned a ton about Raid Shadow Legends. So I know that doesn't specifically answer this question. What are the game modes? What is each game mode used for? Because there's so much nuance to this, and you're gonna have to experience it. How do upgrades in Raid work compared to other games? And boy, oh boy, that is a crazy, crazy question. There's a lot. The one thing I'm gonna say is that I'm just gonna give like a high-level overview of how characters work in the game. Of course, there's different rarities. There's all the way from common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and then there's one above legendary, mythical. But the characters themselves are basically just the kits. Like this is this basic attack, or in this game they call it his A1, and then this special they'll call it the A2, and then he's got his ultimate right here, which is like the A3. That's what they call it in this game. And then there's also a passive. Then there is also an aura, which would be like a leadership. And then there's a blessing, which is based off of his red stars. Okay, so that's a lot of information. But the main thing to understand about Raid Shadow Legends is the characters are the shells, and their abilities are the shells. The power and the strength of the character comes from almost everything else. Way, way, way more. So like the characters down here, when you get them, and then you got to do all this other stuff, and specifically artifacts are going to be where one of the largest amounts of power comes from the character. Now, before I talk artifacts, because artifacts is a whole video in on itself, I'm going to just briefly talk about artifacts, but what I want to talk about is how you upgrade characters. So max level is 60, and whether the character is common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, mythical, they can all be upgraded all the way to 60. Now that's a process. And so generally speaking, I'm not having a lot of use for commons and uncommons, and they are what people will call food. Now, there are some rares. Now, there's a lot of rares in the game, but there's only a handful of them that are worth upgrading. And for example, we're going to go to a list of rares that are deemed to be upgrade worthy. And I'm just going to scroll past some of them here. Pocket Theory's upgrade worthy. Kale! With a starter character, this guy is upgrade worthy. Paragon I don't have. Cold Heart I don't have, but there's a list. And there's some characters that are worth upgrading that are rare, all the way up to 60. But generally, the characters that you're taking to 60 are going to be epics and or higher. And some of the characters that are epics are actually better than legendaries. And if you're wanting to know what characters to upgrade based on what you have in your roster, again, my suggestion is to use the PC client in conjunction with the Hell's Hades tool and go off of their list and have it sorted by the characters that you have in your roster. So now where this takes you is how do you upgrade them up to 60? And this is, it's going to be silly. So like a 1-star character caps out at level 10 and they're going to gain experience by fighting in battle. So when you use a character in a battle, it's going to gain a little bit of experience. And so the maximum that a 1-star character can go up to is to level 10. When a character gets up to level 10, which I don't have any here, then you have to fuse him with another 1-star character. And then he becomes a 2-star character that's back at level 1. 2-star character you can take up to level 20, which I'm going to show right here. Here's a common character that's already been upgraded and is at level 20. And then I go to the tavern and I hit upgrade rank. And then I take 2 characters and I upgrade. And then she becomes a 3-star. Then I've got to play her in battle. And then if I play her in battle, I can get her up to level 30. And then it's going to take 3 other rares to make her into a 4. And then when I make her into a 4, you upgrade, you play her in battle, do some things like that, and get her up to level 40. And then it's going to take 4 more to make her a 5. And then when you make her in 5, you have to upgrade her to level 50. And then it's going to take 5 other ones to merge with her to take her to level 6. So getting a character to 6 stars is very important. And I'm going to say that 1 6-star character is better than having a whole bunch of 5s, but you got to be super picky. If I'm really pushing, I can take about 1 character a week to level 60, and you got to be very selective. I mean, unless you play the game for a long time. And that's why knowing what you want to do and what character you want to upgrade is important. So I've been playing the game for a little over 90 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I've done about 12 characters. What did I say? 1 a week. Yeah, about 1 a week is what it takes. I can only do 1 a week. And so it's kind of important to have a plan. And I'm just going to say that Sun Wukong, if you get him, that should be a part of your plan. Kale was definitely a part of my plan. And then from there, it depends on what you get. But you're also going to get Rector Drath. Oh, let's push the button again. Rector Drath you'll get after getting to level 25. You're also going to get Tayrel by using the link and the QR code. Big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. But I recommend Rector Drath. Rector Drath was great. So, I mean, I feel like that's a starting place right there on who to upgrade pretty early in the game. It would be Sun Wukong, Rector Drath, and Kale. I feel like I use them all the time. I don't regret upgrading them, and it feels good. Now, I've got a ton of notes of what to cover, and I'm trying not to bounce around a lot, but there's just so much to learn in this game, and I just kind of want to recap some of the questions. What are the game modes? Okay, so you're going to learn about the game modes by going through the system. How do upgrades and raid work compared to other games? How do resources work? Okay, how do resources work? So there's 2 other types of resources here, which they're called brews and chickens. So when you don't have to do it the way I described. There is a second way to do it, but I don't always do it because eventually you run out of resources. But you have like right here, this is a 1-star. I can go into the tavern, and then above here behind the QR code, it says upgrade level. You click upgrade level, and you can use brews. Like if you don't want to play Sister Militant in battle, you can upgrade them. Now, the brews are going to come across the 4, and there's basically 4 colors in this game. This is the one that doesn't have a strength or weakness to the 3. It's the purple, also referred to a void. Green is strong against red, you know, and so there's a circle. I don't know, I gotta go find the circle, but there's a circle of what characters are good against each other. And I actually don't know the circle off the top of my head. I believe red is strong against green, green strong against blue, and blue strong against red. That could be backwards. It's the Pokemon circle. But anyways, it's the same thing as Pokemon, if you will. But because she's red or a force character, you can use the force brews. Now, I only use the force brews on the characters that I'm trying to get to level 60. I kind of save them. You can just throw in scrapped characters. In fact, one of the daily quests every day asks you to upgrade a character up 3 levels. So I would just take these 3, and this will take her up to like level 4. Now, there's also something called chickens. And I'll show you a chicken because I've got a chicken that I could use. I've been thinking about upgrading this character right here. I got the tavern, upgrade rank, and I don't have a chicken. But see, I've got these 4 characters here that I could fuse into her, but it takes 5 because she's already at level 50, right? But there's also sometimes that'll be what they call a 5-star chicken, and it would show up right there. And that's in place of these characters that are going to get fused into her. And right now you can see the inventory of chickens right here. So let's say I wanted to upgrade this guy right here, which I do not, or this gal right here. I would hit upgrade rank, scroll down to see what I have available, and I could go boom, 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 boom. Actually, let's do this. This guy wants to be upgraded. Actually, this is kind of be fun. Actually, I didn't know this was going to be in the video. So this is a character. You can see that he is an uncommon. I upgraded him all the way up here just as food. I'm going to hit upgrade rank, and then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to use these 4 guys as food. And in general, the food is going to be commons, uncommons, sometimes rares, but not always rares. But there's some rares that don't really serve a purpose. And then I would say generally better to not do this to epics or legendaries. And we're going to talk about some of the mistakes I made that I wish I didn't make. So we got these 4. There's a chicken, right? So that counts as one of these characters. So I'm going to hit upgrade, and now he becomes a 5-star, right? And I'm going to go to that character that I wanted to upgrade right here. And this is one that I've been thinking about for a while. I did unlock that character early this morning, but I've kind of already on this path right here with Ursula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sacrifice. And she's going to become a 6, right? So there we go. So now she's at level 1. And what I want to do is I want to get her up and running as quickly as possible. And so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to use my purple brews, which is not going to be enough. And this is why I saved them. I saved them for this character because I want to get her up and running. This takes her up to 41. It gets super steep. Like, it's super easy to get to 10, a little bit easier to get to 20. Then it comes harder to get and harder and harder. Like, it feels like the amount of experience you need to go from 30 to 40 is the same amount it takes to get to 30. And then when you get to level 50, the amount of experience it takes to go from 40 to 50 feels like it's the same amount of experience to get to 40, because it gets really steep towards the top. So I'm going to hit upgrade right there and take her up to 41. I'm going to run her through battles. I'll just show you an example of what that looks like. The way that I get experience, like if I'm going to need to upgrade her, right? So I'm going to go to a battle. And you're going to go through the campaign when you start. And the campaign has a toggle right here. You start off at normal. You go to hard. Then you go to brutal. And then lastly, you get to nightmare. And it gets harder and harder. You get points in different ways based on how you beat the stage. And to get a 3-star on each stage, you have to go in right here. Here are the instructions. If you beat the stage, you get a star. If you beat the stages with no losses, you get 2 stars. But if you use 2 champions with no losses, you get a 3-star. And the reason why I do that is that there's rewards down here, like sacred shards, that you'll get by completing that. Like the max star level on brutal is 252 when you complete all 12. and then there's 7 stages in each one. And so I'm just going to tell you that the most efficient way of getting silver and experience is found on 12-3 brutal, which is not the hardest. The hardest one would be nightmare, but this is per energy. So what I'll do is I will load her up in here because I need her to get upgraded. And you can see these other 2 guys right here I'm working on also. So I got to pull her up. She is level 41. And then let's find somebody else that wants to be upgraded. I'm just going to show here. I'll just throw in this uncommon, and then I go into battle. Now this is going to be really fast. This whole battle right here is going to be about 8, 9, 10 seconds long, and you'll see that they get upgraded, right? So we're going through. My son Wukong is my character that I used to farm in campaigns. He's also that character that I was telling you about that you get by the promo code Monkey King. Took 11 seconds, and you can see how they're upgrading. Like he is a 3-star. I will stop doing this when he gets to 30, and then I will merge 3 other ones into him that are at 3-star. Ursula will be finished when I get her to 60. Bandit will get to 10, so I'll run one more match, and he'll get to 10, and then I will fuse him with another character. I don't know if this makes any sense. I don't know if it's worth showing, but this was kind of confusing to me. That going through the campaign is where I get the experience if I don't want to use brews or if I run out of brews. Okay, so this guy now is at max level. He's a 1-star. He caps out of 10. If I ran this one more time, he would go from 29 to 30. But let me show you what I'm going to do with this bandit. Now that I've got him at, I go back into this screen right here. I will go find him. He's going to be at the bottom. And here he is. And then I'm going to hit tavern. I'm going to hit upgrade rank. And then I'm going to merge him with another 1-star. And now he becomes a 2-star. And this just keeps happening over and over again until you get all the way up to level 60. So, it's actually pretty simple once you've done it a couple times. How do resources work? What to spend, what to hoard, and what to use. Okay. So there are a couple things that I think worth hoarding in this game and not spending. And mostly that comes down to the summoning portal and these shards. They run events on ancient, void, primal, and sacred shards. And my suggestion is to hoard these until a event runs that you like. There's not really, well, there are some, but there's not really like boosted rates on mystery shards. So right now there's an event running on ancient shards. It says right here, summon any legendary champion to get a different extra one as a bonus. Meaning if I opened this shard right now and I got super lucky and I got a legendary, they would give me another one. So this is a boosted event. Normally these shards don't give that many. Like this is like a 0.5% is a 1 in 200 chance. So like if I open this shard right now, I'm just going to do it for funsies. I have a 1 in 200 chance of pulling a legendary. If I got a legendary right now, then I would have got 2. So that's why I save. And I'm going to say in general, saving ancient, void, primal, and sacred shards for various events. The events that I like the most are like the sacred ones where it doubles the legendary chance and goes from 6% to 12%. Fantastic. That's when I'm going to open them. But as far as the green shards, you're going to get green shards by campaign in various ways. Pretty easy to get. But this is where I'm going to get more food. I don't save these. I don't hoard them. Sometimes they're events for opening shards. If you wanted to do that, that's fine. And they call that double dipping. Double dipping situation would be like there's something called soul stones. Soul stones right here have a awakening boost, a boosted drop rate right now. So I opened them all today in another video, which should be up here shortly, or maybe I posted it yesterday. I'm not really sure. I know I've recorded the video. I think it got sent off and I have to upload it. But anyways, this is what they call double dipping because it happened to be that I have boosted drop rates. You see all the boosted drop rates here in yellow, and there's an event running. So that's what they call double dipping. And there's always these events. Like if you really have nothing to do or not sure what to do, you can look at this these events, and you can say, oh, there's an I'm gonna get out. I'm going to the other side of the screen. Oh, there's an artifact enhancement event. Upgrade artifacts to earn points and win rewards. Okay. Soulstone Rush. Earn event points for summoning souls to soulstones. So a lot of people will double dip. They'll wait for some sort of boosted drop rates on soulstones, and when it's running at the same time, and I don't know how often that happens, but I was able to double dip on this today. I opened a bunch of them, and I got all of this stuff right here because I waited and opened my soulstones for 2 events to run at the same time. Now, artifact enhancement event, you can wait and do that. And I got to talk about silver because we're talking about resource management. Silver, oh my God, silver. It's almost like you never have enough silver. But one of the main things that silver is used for is upgrading gear. And I just want to showcase what that looks like for cost. And there's points that you want to upgrade your gear: level 4, level 8, level 12, level 16. And by using the Hell's Hades artifact tool, you'll learn which pieces of gear are better than others. I kind of like this one right here because it has a speed substat, which I think turn-based game speed is always good. And I'm going to upgrade it to level 8. But the cost of upgrading from level 4 is low. The cost of upgrading to level 8 is a little bit higher, not a lot higher. It's actually pretty inexpensive to go all the way up to 12, but it becomes horrifically expensive to go to level 16. So I'm just going to showcase that. I typically just go right to 8, but for the sake of this video, I'll just go to 4. And what is this going to cost? 10,000? 6,000 gold, right? And then I can go to level 8. And what does this cost? Like 20,000 maybe? 20,000? All right. 30,000, right? Then to go to 12 may cost anywhere from, let's say, 100 to 200,000. Sometimes less, but around there, right? 200,000. Going to level 16 can cost millions of gold. I'm not even kidding. It could cost all the gold. Not gold, silver. You know what I mean? Silver. They're called silver in this game. Destroyer of words, right? But going to 16, you got to make sure it's a good piece and that you want to upgrade it. I'm just going to show an example of how ridiculously, like this is one right here. I want to take it's at level 12 right now. I'm going to hit upgrade, and I'm going to say that there's a next to 0% chance that it's going to make it to 16 and it's going to take all my silver. I'll show you right now. Maybe I'll get lucky. No, I'm done. 800,000 silver flushed, and I'm at gear at 15. And to get to 16 may cost another million. I don't know, but that's how. So you don't have to go to 16. If you want to take them to 8, if you want to take them to 12, go for it. But 16, you better make sure it's one that you really want to upgrade because they disappear quickly. So when you upgrade your characters, I mean, there's so much more than that. But I want to talk about what to hoard, what to use. One of the most important things in the game is going to be books. And some characters are better than others to book. And what that is that their skills. I guess this could be like if you play another game, this is like T4s, if you will. So like you see the skills down here, and you upgrade with the books and you can see they increase. Now, the most important thing at the end is going to be the cooldown. So like this has a 4-turn cooldown. If you book the whole thing, you get it down to a 3-turn cooldown plus all of these buffs. The problem is that it's random. If I use this one book, and oh my God, only use epics on epics. Do not use legendaries on epics. Only use legendaries on legendaries. And you have to be super picky. My goodness. You get next to no legendary books, and you very rarely get epics. I'm found that you do get an abundance of rare books. So like if you want to upgrade your Kel right here, and you want to use the books on him to make sure that all of his skills, go for it. it's not a problem on rares. Where it's a problem is on epics and legendaries. It gets become incredibly scarce. And the problem with this system, and probably one of the things I hate the most about the game, is it's random. I don't know where it's going to go, and I can't make it all go into one. And so, you know, this character here is 6, you know what I mean? It takes 5 plus 5 plus 4. It would need 14 of them to finish this character off. Right? And so you got to be super picky. And then again, you know, you have to kind of research the characters that you want. So don't be throwing these epic and legendary for certain books on characters that are not great. And I'll just give you an example. I did do Sun Wukong, but maybe you will get lucky and get a better character than Sun Wukong, but you can see he's fully booked out. But I got legendary. Loki was a part of the login event last month. I did not put the books on him. He's good. He's okay, but he seems to work fine without the books. I don't feel like I'm missing anything when I don't have the books on him. So there is a event running right now. And I have not done the research on whether or not Skeletor is good or not, but there is a Skeletor chase where Skeletor is a legendary character, and he's probably good. You have to go to the websites, Hell's Hades, or the other one that a lot of people use for opinions on it is a Yumi Love. There's going to be Raid Shadow Legends tier lists on every character. Maybe Skeletor is going to be one that is amazing. I did some brief research, and I think I want to upgrade him, but I don't think that I'm going to put books on him. See, it's like there's also like other levels of things. So anyways, books, which upgrade abilities, which is going to be like T4s, super scarce on legendaries, not as scarce on epics, but still scarce. And if you want to do rares, go for it. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But do research on the character and see how much you're using and how many game modes you're using before doing that. It's definitely something to research. So Skeletor will be free after 7 days, and then if you don't have to do them in a row, you can do them whenever you want. 7 total days, and then day 14 you get the 2 reds, which is also super cool. And then of course, if you want He-Man, he's a part of a pass right here. And again, you're gonna have to do research to see if he's worth looks. From what I've been reading is that He-Man is good in arena only. I don't know how much use he's gonna get outside of arena. And I actually need another arena legendary, so maybe I'll do it. But the pass, there's the free track. He's only on the bottom track, so you get the entire legendary character on the paid track, which is, how much is it? $40. There you go. All right. Let's get back to the questions that were asked and kind of what the template of the video is. How do resources work? We talked about that in part. We talked about a little bit of that. What to spend, what to hoard, what to use. We talked about that in a general way. There's more depth to what I just said right there. How to prioritize character upgrades, who to target. The Hell's Hades app is super useful in that. If you don't want to use the Hell's Hades app, you can go and manually type in your characters. Like if you want to type in Skeletor, because you'll say you log in for 7 days and you get Skeletor. I don't think I spelled it right. There he is, Skeletor. And you can see that he's a 3.5 stars out of 5. This is the opinion of Hell's Hades. He has, I don't, this opinion might change because he's brand new. And then if you don't want to do the extraction tool and the PC client, you can just go on your phone and type in the character. You can do the same thing on Yumi Love, where this is a second opinion, if you will, if you want to see if the character is worth upgrading. What is the general min-max approach to this game? And the most, and we talked about it briefly, so I'm not going to talk about it again, is to take advantage of 2 events simultaneously, which is not always where boosted drop rates on orbs, why a shard opening event is double dipping. And I was able to double dip this morning where these have boosted drop rates, and there was a opening event, and that is called double dipping. That's going to be the most important. Now, I've got a couple other things that other people in my chat said to me is like, oh, I just learned about this. I didn't know this. And I know this is one that Arnold did not know about also, is he did not know about glyphs. And so what are glyphs? Glyphs are attachments to the equipment. And you get glyphs from various places like the Forge Pass. You also get glyphs from Faction Wars, things like that. You get it from a lot of different places. But if I want to upgrade this boot, and this boot, yeah, maybe. Why don't we go to something I want to upgrade? All right, I want to upgrade this. This is a mythical chest base with accuracy, which accuracy and speed are so important to this game. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But you can upgrade these individual stats. So I can hit upgrade, and I can hit enchant, and then these are the glyphs. And so I can make this piece of gear better. I have no silver because I wasted all my silver earlier. All right, I'm gonna sell some gear. I have no silver. There's some stuff that I want to sell from when I was farming, because you get like these right here. I'll never use these, so I'm just gonna sell these all right here. And what to sell? Oh my God, that's a whole video. There's excuse me, inventory slots, of course, like right here. You can see I have 337 available. I don't know where it caps out. I think it's about 1,500. I've never gotten that high, but I'm going to sell that. And I'm going to get 216,000. All right, very good. Let's go back to that character that I upgraded, which is Ursula. And we're going to upgrade this mythical chest plate accuracy. And I'm going to upgrade and enchant with glyphs. There we go, 10,000. Resistance slows down the chance of negative effects. Applying speed, yeah, we always need more speed. And then she's not really an attacker. I don't think, because she's not an attacker, she's support. I don't know. I don't want to save that for an attacker character and a piece of gear. And I wouldn't be moving gear around all the time because it costs silver to move gear. But about once a month, they have a 3-day event where you can move gear around for free. So that is glyphs. Now, someone also said, hey, I didn't understand what faction guardians were. So when you get a duplicate, rare, epic, or legendary, you can put them into the faction guardians. And there's no downside to that because you can remove them. There are ways of putting characters together and then they get the +1 notification. You can't unwind that, but you can unwind this. It's not a big deal. And so like Kale, for example, is a part of High Elves, right? And so I can take my duplicate rares, put them in here, and then all my rare High Elf Guardians get 10% HP, 10% attack, 7 accessory, 7 resistance, 10% defense. I'm gonna flip to the other side, 3 extra speed. So if you get duplicate rares, this doesn't apply to commons and uncommons, you can put them here in the faction guardian and get boosts. And that also applies for epics and legendaries. Of course, it's going to be very hard to have a ton of legendaries for sure, but epics and rares, and this is the reason why you don't want to use epics as food, is because you want to fill this out. And then also, you know, your epics that are very strong, that are on the attackers, sometimes you want to, I don't know what the word is, you want to merge them together. Empowered champions right here, where you can like merge them together, and then you get stats by merging them together. Like I can take Ursula, and if I had 4 extra copies of her, I could merge her 4 times. The general suggestion on epics is to do that on attackers, not necessarily support. And then you'll see this number right here will go from 0 to 1. But for me, why would I want to do that where I can put them inside the faction guardians and I could unwind that later? Like I could remove them from the faction guardians where I can't unwind that merging process. So All right, hoard orbs other than green. Yeah, inventory caps. Yeah, there's inventory caps. So there's inventory caps on almost everything. Champion Vault has an inventory cap, and you can see I've upgraded my inventory cap a bunch of times up to 220. If I hit the plus thing right here, it'll get me 10 more slots. Right there, it would cost 295. Now there are champion vaults where I can put champions in here that I'm not using, or I don't use very, or I'm done upgrading. These are characters in my faction guardian. I can put 70 in. Reserve vaults are characters that I'm done with, and like I'm just using these for faction guardians, not going to upgrade them. They're just going to sit there. And so there are 3 different vaults, but most of the time the characters are just in the champion vault, and there's inventory levels that can be increased on all of them. Like if the master vault, if I wanted to add 10 more slots, I can go right there. It costs me 70 to do that. Next question. Chickens versus brews. We talked about that. We talked about how important the books are to upgrade their skills. My goodness, don't throw away your legendaries. Definitely don't use the legendary books on epics. Gear management, use Hell's Hazies. What can you screw up in this game? You can screw up books. You can feed your epics, which can be a problem, and you could regret it later. You could also use your legendaries as food. And there's a handful of rares that I would say you don't want to do. Someone asked me how many characters in the game. My understanding is there are over 800. And then lastly, someone asked me what to spend money on. Okay, so this is what I currently like spending money on. There's a raid card right here that is $10 a month, or you can do $50 for 6 months, and you get the following things. You get 20% experience from campaign battles, 20% silver from campaign battles, and then you get the 7 multi-battles. And the multi-battles is nice because, let's say I wanted to go in here and farm. You can see that I have 0 available, but let's say I had 70. I can hit this multi-battle, and then I can just let my tablet or my PC client or whatever just run for like an hour, and all the battles happen over and over again. It just keeps repeating it. And so getting extra of them is from the raid pass. And you can see that the raid pass is active up here, the raid card. So these are the things that I'm getting. It looks like it expires in the next 4 days. Something else that I like to buy, and it costs $10, and I got to look for it. Where is it? Daily and progressions, not the sacred daily pack. Not that one. No. It's the daily gen. I got to look for it. It's $10. Where is it? Raid cards, limited offers. There's so many offers in this game. Gen shop. No. Daily and progression. It is daily energy, daily. Here it is right here. This is the one right here. So this is a calendar. It's $10 and you get 2,140 gems. I bought this and I thought this was a good value. I like to spend my gems on masteries because it takes way too long to get the masteries. I'm not going to go over masteries in this video because it's like a skill tree, and you can see that I don't have any masteries on her because I just took her to 60, but I'm not going to go and farm the masteries on her because it just takes way too long. But I'm going to spend the 800 to fully unlock all of her masteries all the way up to rank 6, and then I will go to like Hell's Hades and pick the skill tree that makes the most sense for her based on what I want to do with her. Other passes that I really like, and I did a whole video with Arnold about is the Forge Pass worth it? I do like the Forge Pass. I believe the Forge Pass, oh my God. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was $20. And this is an amazing way of getting excellent gear and other things. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a free track and there's a paid track, but I like the paid track on that. And then here in the Forge, I can craft the gear, the 5 and 6 stars. Again, quite a bit of it. Each pass has a specific set. And my understanding is there's 5 different sets in rotations. And the current set in rotation right now is Instinct, which is a good set. but it's the weakest of the 5 that are currently in the rotations on the Forge set. I think I've gone over as much as I can. This is a 44-minute long video. Again, I want to give a shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this series and this video on this channel. Be sure to use the link in the description or the QR code in the screen on the screen to get all kinds of bonus stuff, including Tayrel and Rector Draft. And I've talked long enough. 45 minutes. Bye for now.